Will humans face the same destiny as dinosaurs? There have been 5 mass extinction events in the last 540 million years, a brief amount of time on the geological scale, and dinosaurs were involved in one of them. And if predictions are to be believed, then humans will be part of the 6th mass extinction. Many of you must be laughing uncontrollably listening to such predictions and rumors, whereas another section of people like you must really be petrified listening to these predictions. Whatever it is, one thing is for sure, and that is you and all your fellow human beings will not be present in this world forever, and in the coming years humans will have to face a mass extinction. All of us must be realizing now that life also means death, and that death can be in the form of extinction. Have you ever wondered how some of the species that you had come across in your younger days are not visible anymore? The answer to that is very easy. In fact, many of these species must have become extinct. Life involves extinction. Plants and animals go extinct all the time. Currently, 98% of all living things that have ever lived on Earth are extinct. When a species disappears, its place in the ecosystem is typically taken up by other species or by new ones. It is commonly believed that the normal rate of extinction on Earth is between 0.1 and 1 species per 10,000 species per 100 years. This is referred to as the extinction background rate. Now you must have realized the extent of mass extinction. A mass extinction event occurs when a species becomes extinct far more quickly than it is replenished. Generally speaking, this is understood to mean that roughly 75% of all species on Earth have vanished in a brief moment of geological time, less than 2.8 million years. That's a huge amount, isn't it? To put it in simple words, you can take world-renowned scientist and researcher Dr. Katie's words. The curator of benthic mollusks, Dr. Katie Collins, notes that it can be challenging to pinpoint the beginning and end of a global extinction. To determine if humans are currently experiencing a 6th extinction event, however, it is common to consider the 5 major occurrences that we are aware of, where the rate of extinction was significantly higher than the background rate. So, are you ready to face the mass extinction? As you know, there are plenty of reasons for the mass extinction. You cannot pinpoint a certain reason for these calamities. It's up to you to believe the science behind these occurrences. A severe ice age, an asteroid impact, invasive species taking over the planet, the reconstruction of the Earth's crust some 250 million years ago, and other natural forces were some of the causes of 5 mass extinction events that occurred over the last 540 million years. A brief period of time on the geological scale. Then there are dinosaurs that became extinct, which had been mentioned in the beginning. Dinosaurs. Just hearing about dinosaurs must have piqued your interest all of a sudden. How did they become extinct? If you have read books on dinosaurs or seen movies, then you must know the reason for their extinction. The dinosaurs went extinct as a result of the most recent one, which occurred 66 million years ago. Over 75% of all species on Earth perished during each extinction. You must have heard about the fossil record, and here, according to the fossil record, dinosaurs underwent enormous morphological changes throughout the first 175 million years of their existence as a result of environmental changes and the emergence of new species that were better equipped to the new circumstances. When dinosaurs couldn't adapt, they died extinct. But then, in a relatively short period of time, 66 million years ago, dinosaurs completely vanished. Also remember that it's not just dinosaurs that perished in this mass extinction. There were other living creatures too. Large marine reptiles, ammonites, and pterosaurs were among the numerous other animals that perished. The evidence implies that, despite the fact that the number of dinosaur species was already dropping, a rapid and catastrophic catastrophe sealed their demise by causing unfavorable environmental changes to occur faster than dinosaurs and other organisms could adapt. Now, if you're somebody with keen interest in this, then you know that there are a lot of discussions still going on about this particular subject. There's ongoing scientific discussion over the precise nature of this devastating event. There is evidence that the primary cause was an impact from an asteroid. In addition to more gradual changes in Earth's temperature over millions of years, volcanic eruptions that resulted in significant climate change might possibly have played a role. Also, did you know that this has resulted in huge gaps in the ecosystems around the planet? Ecosystems all throughout the world have gaps due to the massive extinction that put an end to the dinosaur era, regardless of the causes. These were thereafter occupied by mammals and birds, the only dinosaurs to survive, which both underwent quick evolutionary changes. It raises the question of whether the 6th major extinction is imminent. Will you and your family, friends, be around this world in the coming years? If you've seen these futuristic movies, then you know that humans have the tendency to survive any disaster or natural calamities. But then don't forget that these are movies and in no way related to reality. In reality, as many say, the beginning of the end of the human race has begun. But then there are scientists and researchers all around the world who are busy finding out answers to these questions. According to many scientists, the question is when, not whether or if. And neither global cooling nor asteroid collision will be the cause this time. It will be the result of one species pushing itself to extinction, Homo sapiens. Yes, that would be the humans who in the end would go extinct. So are humans responsible for their own extinction? Now that seems like an interesting question. If you are to see the world around you and decide to answer it, then you would say that humans are actually responsible for their extinction. Everyone out there is taking part in one or other destruction of this planet. It needs to be seen as to what will be left around in this world in the coming years. The most likely risks to human survival, according to the UK-based Global Challenges Foundation, include nuclear war, pollution and climate change, overpopulation, biotechnology, and pandemics. The most likely possibility for the end of human civilization is a nuclear conflict, out of all the possible outcomes. The rising political tensions between nuclear-armed superpowers are making us more vulnerable to this threat. You must be familiar with the Ukraine-Russia war. A few days back, Dmitry Medvedev, the deputy chairman of the Russian Security Council, publicly threatened to start a nuclear conflict, saying that Russia's failure in the fight against Ukraine would set off such a conflict. As all of this was going on, Patriarch Kirill of the Russian Orthodox Church issued a dire warning, stating that an attempt to destroy Russia by NATO using Ukraine as a proxy will mean the end of the world. These statements alone will show you the extent of hatred humans are spreading against each other, which ultimately will lead to their extinction. There are currently enough nuclear weapons in the hands of the US, Russia, and China to destroy every man, woman, and child on the Earth. The unavoidable outcome would be the extinction of the human race if any of these nations starts using these weapons, particularly against another that has a large stockpile of them. Besides these reasons, the most important one that resulted in the previous 5 mass extinctions was climate change. Yes, the climate that you and all of us living in the world are responsible for. To know more about climate change, just ask yourself, do you breathe toxins on a daily basis? Toxins deposited by humans have poisoned the earth you live on today. The food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe all contain poisons. It's time to start thinking about the food, air, and water all of us consume on a daily basis. As noted environmentalist and explorer Jacques Cousteau once observed, water and air, the 2 essential fluids on which all life depends, have become global garbage cans. Garbage cans, now that is something you least expected to hear, but the truth is, Jacques Cousteau was very precise in his words. It is doubtful that climate change will lead to our extinction, but the cumulative impact of continuing to release greenhouse gases that warm the globe can cause a runaway greenhouse effect, which could ultimately reduce life on Earth to almost nothing. Now that's a serious issue to be thought about. As strange as it may seem, it is obvious that humans are headed towards extinction. According to a number of newly released scientific studies, the 6th mass extinction may already be occurring. It is better not to forget our ancestors and their extinction from this planet. Have you ever come across any person who has convinced you about this doomsday? Do you think all these things are being propagated by people only for money and fame? You surely have your views on this, and do share that in the comment section below. For more interesting such content and videos, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye.